What's going on, guys? My name's Ryan. Thanks for tuning into the podcast that nobody asked for. In this episode, I wanted to talk a little bit about the endless ocean that is my mind and your mind and the mind of humanity. We will get more into that in a bit. I just wanted to point out the fact that I'm wearing a all-around print collared shirt. I don't know if they're still in style, but I haven't been keeping up with fashion since 2006. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start this video off by saying I don't know how to swim. Like, I do know how to swim to an extent. The closest I've really came to actually swimming fully with my body in a body of water was in dreams. I've had plenty of dreams where I was just swimming, floating in water, and I was doing good, you know. But unfortunately in real life, I've had friends pretty recently ask me to do a cannonball. I couldn't do it. My whole body would just choke up, and I'll be like, all right, can I just step in the water? Now, I think one of the reasons I've never really fully learned how to swim is due to the fact that I'm about 6'2", somewhere around there, 6 foot. And my whole life I've been really tall, and I've never really had the need to, I could always just stand in the water and not really need to swim. My parents have tried to teach me how to swim. I went to schools and stuff, but there's something about my weight also. I'm a pretty hefty person. Right now I'm 210 pounds. When I was probably learning how to swim, I was probably a good 180. And as a kid, as a lopsided kid who didn't really take good care of his body, I wasn't really able to learn how to swim. I'm sure if I learned how to swim now that I'm in healthier physical shape, I probably would be fine. It's just harder to get into. It's of course it's like learning to ride a bike. It's easy, and then once you do it, you never forget. But you may be asking yourselves, why am I really calling myself out on not being able to know how to swim? And it's a little spiritual, I guess you could say, because I think of the mind. When you close your eyes and you think of what the mind really is, it feels like a giant vast ocean of just nothing. Well, not nothing, but there's always something new to find as long as you keep exploring. Like, for example, humans have only discovered 5% of content in the ocean of species. We know more about outer space than we know about the ocean, and the same goes for our mind. We really don't know what's in our mind as long as we close our eyes and go into it. And I always try to be creative, but sometimes I get overwhelmed and I get lost and I forget how to swim, and I just feel like I can't be creative and I can't dig deep and find the things that I need to find inside of my mind. Now, everyone has what they need inside of their mind to be successful. It's already there. Every thought you need for any possible reality, it is accessible. So think of it like this. Every human has infinite pathways of careers that they can go, and I've pondered a lot of different pathways that I could go. Humans have infinite pathways. Everyone has the ability to be everything, and I think that's pretty beautiful. But the human mind is just an infinite ocean. You just gotta find where to go. Like I mentioned in a couple episodes, it's like you're on a ship and your conscious mind is the captain, and then your subconscious mind is the crew, and then you personally have to tell the crew, okay, we're going in this direction. But I think creativity, because that's more like on the surface looking for land. I feel like when it comes to creativity, it's more like you're a scuba diver in an infinite ocean, and there's a lot of nothing, there's a lot of depression, there's a lot of mystery, there's a lot of just free floating, it's very scary, just having infinity around you, or what seems like infinity around you. And that goes for whether it's your mind or a real ocean. And there's so many different ways I could go in my mind. I could become a teacher, I could be in jail, I can be this, I could be that, but I'm just sort of free diving in this mind, looking for the creative energy I need to become an audio producer, to become a podcaster, to just really do what I need to do. And I think I'm just rambling on. I think you guys get it. Like, it's the human mind is an infinite ocean full of beautiful things, scary things, etc., etc. At the end of the day, I'm just gonna keep doing what I need to do. I just wanted to get this little podcast out there, out of love for everyone, out of, just trying to see how other people can relate to me. Maybe this episode could relate to you in some way. That's another thing. Anything you do, it has to be out of love. Steve Jobs, for example, he was a very creative individual, and I'm sure when he theorized the creation of Apple, he envisioned a world of love, of people who could communicate instantly, of huge convenience. He just theorized the product out of a love for people and out of a love for technology and what it can possibly do for humanity. And then, I don't personally know too much about Steve Jobs himself, or the people around him, but I figure that as time went on, it just became the most corporate, company in the world. And now everyone has one, including me, which is why I'm recording this on right now, which is a little ironic. But he made these products out of love, and then eventually, in time, they evolved into this behemoth. And pretty much anything you do has to be out of love. So this podcast, I'm doing it out of love. I'm doing it out of love for audio, and for love for just talking. And it's like I'm talking to a friend right now. It's like whenever I'm watching podcasts online or on TV or YouTube, whenever I'm watching podcasts, it's like I'm in a conversation. It's like I'm actively participating in a conversation with at least one or two other people. And there's just something really, really inclusive about it, especially in times when having people around you is not as common. People hang out with each other so much less than they did years and years ago. This isn't the 60s, 70s, 80s anymore. Like, we're entering a new, maybe darker time, maybe lighter time. It's just a different time, All these times have been just different, The Renaissance was a pretty dark time for some people in some ways. This is a pretty dark time for some people in some ways. Everything's just always going to be different, but I digress. So pretty much every successful company ever has been made out of love, whether it be a love for growing food and feeding people and working out on a ranch and making something like a giant food company, and that's what it evolves into. Whether it be something like a love for video games and entertaining people, and then that turns into Minecraft or something, or a love for music and being yourself. Of course, that is what bands are made out of. For me, I really love audio. I love talking. I love talking about life. I feel like one of the main purposes of life is these conversations that you have with your friends that are talking about life. Like listening to your friends and your views on reality and why it is the way it is. I feel like those kinds of really deep talks under the stars are one of the main reasons for us even being here, just to think about that kind of stuff. And that's one of the things I love. I love talking about stuff like that. So that's why I love to do this podcast, so I could keep talking about stuff like that. I'm just some guy, but at the end of the day, like, I still have stuff to say. Like, I get I'm not like an astrophysicist who can really blow people's minds, but I can still have a decent conversation and keep things going, and just keep making content out of love. That's why I make my music. I make it out of love. I really like I like stuff getting stuck inside of my head. Whenever I make a song that gets stuck inside my head, that means I love it, and that means I want to make more, and I really enjoy the process. Everything's out of love. Just like that infinite ocean, it's an infinite ocean of love, but you just gotta know how to swim in it. And I think that's where meditation can come along. Meditation sort of like placing yourself in a reality, but it has to be very disciplined. Changing yourself really requires discipline. So meditation's like a form of swimming, but like mentally, I guess. So yeah, I'm not gonna make this video too terribly long. I just wanted to get some little thoughts out there. Just gotta learn how to swim in reality and in my mind. Other than that, if anyone has anything interesting to talk about, some passions, thoughts about life, go ahead and let me know if you want to be on an episode, because I really need to start switching things up. I know that YouTube is the whole like internet ecosystem is very big into shorts now. With TikTok and YouTube doing shorts now, so now I gotta figure out how to do something with that. I'm gonna be making more videos other than just podcasts. I'm gonna be making some guitar videos, some tutorial videos, stuff with me messing around mixing on Ableton and stuff. It's gonna be great. But yeah, man, if you guys have any comments, questions, criticisms, concerns, you know where to go. This has been Ryan. Take it easy, you sleazy bitches.